What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. And here with my co-host, my guy, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, spreader? Stay How are we today?
I'm doing pretty good. Let's go straight to yesterday's news so I can take a little victory lap. Not only did the Warriors win, they won with ease. Um, and you got it home too. And I felt pretty good, right? Because I told you I could see Steph getting 22 and the Warriors win by double digits. I think Steph ended up with 21, right? And the
Yeah,
Warriors
on
won by double
21.
digits. So,
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of the things that I forecasted in the series came to life last night. Now, of course, the Mavericks aren't going to shoot that bad all series. What were they? 7 of 38 for three or something like that. I mean, it was just bad. Um,
Something real ridiculous. It was absolutely
yeah,
ridiculous what they
but
went
but but
from.
that's the way the team goes. And the funny thing is, the Warriors started this 3 point thing, and now that everybody's doing it, they're not doing it. They're doing mid
Right,
range and they're attacking the rim. And
right.
like I said, this Dallas team doesn't have a center, and I
Yeah.
couldn't believe that Phoenix didn't take advantage of it. But Steve Kerr's it's like, you're going to give me that edge. Those guys were at the rim all night, so it was fun to see Golden State win. Of course, we'll be talking about it again tomorrow. See if you like Dallas to come back here. But I would love betting the Warriors and Chase. They're now 37-10 straight up at home this year.
Yeah, it was an easy win for me. I saw from the beginning of the game that Steph wasn't going to do much. He, just like I told you, he was going to be
But
the
he did
main.
a lot. He just didn't score much.
Yeah, I'm only speaking from the perspective of what I bet the point. So that's the
Okay.
only
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't do anything from the scoring point of view, and the reason why is because Dallas made him their focal point to make sure that they were doubling him, making sure that he wasn't getting clean looks, and a couple times that he did, he had already had so many hands in his face that he was seeing ghosts. He started out very slow. He only went 3 for 9. He made all three of those 3 pointers, I want to say, in the second half, right? He didn't even make any in the first
He
half
was
that I
one
saw.
of five or one of six to
Yeah,
start,
yeah,
and then
something
he
like
made the
that.
last two right before they pulled him when the game didn't
Right.
matter anymore.
Yeah, right when the game and that. And I was so glad because I didn't know if Steve Kerr was going to let him stay and, pad his stats a little bit, give him a little confidence going into game two because he played so bad. Because he did have out Poole still, and I think Wiggins was still playing. And I know for sure that at that time, Jason Kidd was still playing Luca. So I didn't know if they was going to bring him back to like 7 minutes and he didn't come back in. So I ended up being good with that one. But 7 for 16, we'll take that, and 3 for 9. Um, Good defense by the wing players for the Mavericks. But overall, they are in a little trouble, man. I want to see how Luca looked against them in a real playoff environment. And I want to say they have a couple answers for him. They got I didn't think Draymond Green would be able to stay with him as much as he did when he got the switches. They also were able to throw Kaminga in for a little bit during the minutes, and Wiggins is doing exactly what they went and got him to do, being the number one draft pick with actually like certain assignments. He's a specialist now, and with all that skill he has of being a number one draft pick, it's very easy for him to do that. So now his job is this game. He's going to make life hard on Luca, and he's being an excellent fourth scoring option on the offense. As you saw, he got them off to a really good start in the first quarter by how great he played in the first half and first quarter. So impressive by the Warriors. Very, very impressive. Let's go on and get to the ball and parlay, man, and talk about tonight's game. We only got one game on the slate.
All
We
right, yeah, we're gonna each gonna make a case for the opposite side, and then go ahead and give out the plays. Um,
yeah,
I like Miami again tonight.
yeah,
It's gonna be a different game though. It's gonna be a
yeah.
different game. Al Horford back in for sure. Marcus Smart is questionable right now. We're going ahead with this conversation with the idea that he's playing. Derek White out of the lineup with his wife, child being born. Congratulations to Derek White.
Congratulations.
We talked about it in the last game, though, right? Marcus Smart could make a big deal because it's going to minimize those Peyton Pritchard minutes. Unfortunately, you rip Derek White out of the lineup, you're still going to get those Peyton Pritchard minutes. The difference is they won't be during the crucial times of the game. They'll
Right.
be during the normal reserve minutes. It'll be interesting to see if Spo, changes his rotation with Jimmy or just allows his backups like Hero to attack Pritchard. But I still think it's going to be the same net negative for his minutes. They got to get as few minutes for him as possible. Horford being back again takes away another one of the weaknesses of the rotation. I didn't like the Daniel Tice minutes. He's a
Yeah.
fine player for the regular season, and he's a great emergency player. But we saw he's not going to get it done on the road. It'll be different when we're talking about game three, but we're still in Miami. The home court advantage is still real, and I'm downgrading all the Boston role players because of that. Interesting tale of two halves there. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Tatum was excellent in the first. Brown was excellent in the second. You never got them both at the same time. Of course, it's a worry if you're back in the Heat if they both get hot at the same time. But I really like the Heat's depth better. I like their bench better, and I think they're better coached. And as of right now, in Miami, I like Jimmy Butler a little more as just my guy to put away the game. But I know you're on the opposite side. Let them know why.
Yeah, I'm giving out the Celtics tonight. That's would be one of my bigger plays this week. I'm taking the Celtics. I got them at +4, and I got them at plus 140, and I believe now it's down to like maybe plus 115 and plus 2.5. I've been on the Celtics train all playoffs. Basically, right after the first round, I've been riding them, and really during the regular season, I rode them too when they got on their hot streak that took them to being seeded as high as they are in the playoffs, being the number 2 seed. And the reason why is because the Celtics don't lose back-to-back games. They're always able to make the adjustments in the 2022 calendar. They have not lost one back-to-back game in the whole year if they had their entire starting lineup. The one that they did lose, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford all sat out. I found it very interesting that the very first thing that Jaylen Brown said at the press conference was he found it very uncharacteristic that they gave up 118 points and that it won't happen again. And he also said that they got to find a way to make, in his exact words, Jimmy Butler uncomfortable and to rattle him. He said rattle him, So that lets me know that their game plan is going to be a physical to try to get him off his block, off his spots, and really harass him all night. And they have the manpower to do that because it's pretty much well established that the Celtics have been the best defensive team in the NBA this season. And I think that their coaching staff makes the adjustments like they have all season. They're a very proud organization, very proud team, and they have a better team than Miami has.
See, do
and
they? Do they though? How do they have the better team?
because they have
They
all
don't
of
have a
these,
better bench.
they have top draft picks, and you have a whole bunch of undrafted guys with Miami that are very pedestrian. It's just they
I
play
mean,
great team ball.
Jimmy
They
Butler's
play great team ball.
pedestrian.
Most of the guys from Miami wouldn't even start. Only guy that'll go somewhere else and start would be Bam and Butler. The rest of those guys, don't get me wrong, Hero would be a great 6-man. He probably started at a lower organization. But if you look at those guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, those guys would not start for most of the teams in the NBA that are contenders, man. Miami Heat has done an excellent job of making these guys who are undrafted talent into great basketball players. It kind of reminds me of kind of like the Suns, where they got, and the Suns are actually drafted a lot of their players to high draft picks, but it's the same type of vibe where, it's no standout guy. They just play great team ball together, and Butler has put them on his shoulders. He had 41 points last game. He is not scoring anywhere near 30 points tonight. He's gonna be all that they're thinking about tonight is how to stop Jimmy Butler. The other guys, if Miami does win, it'll be because we're gonna see a big game from Bam, big game from Hero, big game from Vincent, big game from Strus. Because believe me, they have Butler up as a target after that 41 points and the way that he clowned them in the second half. And the Celtics are a very, very, very proud team. And the books agree with me. And the reason why I say that they agree with me is because they were favored to win this series. That means with them not having the home field advantage, they're either going to get game 2 or game 5. That's what the books are saying, right? Because they were underdogs by a pretty fair number, almost 5 points in the first game. We knew they were on tired legs coming from a 7-game playoff series. But now it's time to reset. Tatum said that he's very, very, very excited to get to this game. He couldn't wait for this game to start so that he can answer all of the stuff that Jimmy Butler was doing and talking in the second half last game. So I just expect, this is me personally, I think this win a seesaw situation. I think the Celtics go get one tonight, and I feel pretty strongly about that. And I know, I defer to you on the NBA usually, but on this one, I got to push back just like I have a couple times with the Celtics against you with the Bucks, because I like the Celtics and I like what they bring, and they're the team that I've been riding. I also got a ticket in on them to go to the championship, so I need them to win tonight too as well. But breaking down everything, these are the things that I think why they are going to win. And Marcus Smart coming back is going to be huge when it comes to what he was saying about rattling Butler, because we know he's an agitator. That's what Marcus Smart does. He's one of those guys like Chris Paul, but it's not his dirt. He does it within the whistle, but he makes sure you feel him. You know him. You know he's there, and that's going to be a
I
big
think you're
difference.
playing right into Butler's hands. Let him be. He's not the best athlete. Let him be physical. He wants to bang with those guys. And I mean, Bam. I mean, this guy's. I mean, this guy's like. I understand. Like, yes, Struce and Vincent don't have the pedigree. I don't care about pedigree on my role players. I mean, hey, that's the luxury the Warriors have, right? Having a number one
Right.
pick as a role player, right? Most
Right.
teams don't
Exactly.
have that, and we'll get into that a little more tomorrow.
As do the Celtics. Marcus
Yeah,
Smart is a top 5 pick, and he's used
yeah.
as a utility guy. A defensive first guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I like their role players so much more as for their ability to do their job, and I think Bam's got that pedigree too. I mean, he's just a fantastic athlete, well coached, and does whatever he needs to within the system. But these teams are quite similar, right? Because as much as you're going to extol the virtues of the Celtics defense, I feel the same way about the Heat, and the Celtics ended up, with that high rating towards the end of the season. But if you look, the Heat were more consistently on defense the whole year. They've really just hammer these principles in, over and over when they're playing these teams, whereas the Celtics haven't done it for as long. So,
Right.
that's where we're opposite here. And a little bit opposite here too, although it's kind of like last night where you could be right about the points. I think he's going to get a ton of assists because the usage is going to be there, right? So,
Exactly.
so
Yeah. It ties hand in hand. I was just about to say, now on the points, you noticed that the books had him lower. He's been 30
yeah,
pretty much the last 3 games. Today it's 26 and a half.
yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? Like, so,
yeah,
so I think that the books kind of feel what I'm saying with, how good the Celtics are on wing defense. They're gonna slow them down offensively. They're gonna probably double them a lot, make them get the ball out of his hands, and that's where the shooters come in. If Miami's shooting lights out, this game might not be close because now they're gonna get an open floor. You're gonna get Hero with open shots, Strus with open shots, Vincent with open shots, and Vincent finally was starting to hit shots last game. So I can definitely
exactly.
understand why you're feeling Miami right now, but they
Yeah.
have to make the shots first. If they make the shots, then we'll see. But it goes hand in hand with Butler. What were you saying about him? Points, rebounds, and assists?
Yeah, so my play is over 38.5 points, rebounds, assists, and you talk about them shutting Butler down, and you'd say, oh, why is 5 Star saying that? And then Spread still wants this. It's because the usage is going to be there regardless. So let's say they do go exactly what you say and what we expect. Okay, so he sees more double teams. What's that going to leave open? That's going to leave open a ton of assists, right? And once he starts getting his teammates involved, what else is he going to be able to do? Crash the boards on both
Yeah.
ends of the floor because he's want to get out and go. So, even though we might be a little down on the points, and that's why it's not points. I'm not saying Butler over on points. I want the
Great pick,
rebounds,
Spread.
I want the assists, and I think we're
Yeah.
getting there through the peripherals. So
Yeah.
that's where we are with this. So it'll be fun for us to talk about this tomorrow.
And we never. It's funny too because we used to agree on most of our
Yeah,
games, but we're not like first take or anything or any of these shows where we're trying to force.
manufacture it. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't do that on here, man. If we're gonna just be honest with you, Spread likes the Heat. Me personally, I like the Celtics. But he's gonna give out Butler, and I'm giving out the Celtics, man. Money line, and hey, you guys, we've been pretty successful over the history of the show with these free plays. So. I feel
3-0 this week.
yeah. Oh, we're
3-0 this
3
week.
0, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3
we
0 this
knock
week.
out one of these and it's locked
Yeah.
for the week. Another one. That's 17
Yeah.
out of 18 weeks. Real briefly, guys, Spread has to go. He has another show and another commitment. I don't know if Spread saw it or not. Did you see where this show started? Because we're college football first show. I'm an expert in college football betting, and that's why me and Spread did the show together. He's my co-host, and he deals most with the NBA. I'm a football guy. It was some big college football news that I just have to run by my guy Spread real fast and find out what did he think about Saban with the dry snitching, and then his former understudy coming back at him, Jimbo Fisher, calling out all this dirty closet stuff. They were going real low, man. What you think about that?
I was gonna ask you. I saw all the spicy comments and I saw all the clips on Twitter, but I didn't really know what to make of it because I don't know the history behind it as much. The only thing that I kind of caught from it, reading through it, is they're saying, "Boy, it's funny that all this is coming out now that NIL's here, right? Now that it's not under the table."
Right. Because Saban is pissed because under the old system, whoever's pockets in the NCAA he was greasing, or whatever system that he had created in Alabama with those boosters was flawless, where they were able to still get what they need to get done, and get the players that they wanted. And now with the NIL, the system's free for everybody. You know, the NIL stands for now it's legal. That's what they call
Yeah.
it in the SEC. You know, so man, I'll be very interested as we get into the fall, going through the summertime. We'll be back in August after the finals and really be previewing a lot of NFL and a lot of college. I'll be very interested to see what goes on with this NIL, because it seems like all the big dudes like Dabo and like Saban, they want it out the way, and all the new and uppercomers like Jimbo Fisher, they want it because it gives them an even playing field. Because he said all A&M did was pay all their players. So, man, we got to get out of here. So like I said, Spread has other commitments. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're here Monday through Friday on SCOON TV. Catch them on at Spread Stay on Twitter at 5 Star in Vegas. Spell out the 5. Best of luck to you all. We'll see you tomorrow.